Okay, do we have the audio on the stream now? Brilliant. So we can start the stream for today. Okay, welcome to the community stream. Uh, it's Tuesday again. Hooray! Robot semifinals and finals are gone. We can breathe a little bit again. So hopefully today we will have Infi with us, talking about a little bit about his new bot. He made a Circ bot, and it does also have a machine learning component programmed in the bot.
Actually, it's an old bot, but revived one.
Uh, Sorry, I didn't hear you. I have to adjust a little bit my voice a little bit.
Yeah, Harvester Zerg isn't exactly a new bot. Do you hear me now?
Okay.
I just
But it
revived the
does have,
bot.
machine learning component added. That part was correct, right?
Yeah, it has machine learning, or rather reinforcement learning built into it.
Sounds absolutely great. We had a couple of bots that did have some kind of machine learning in them, and hopefully we will see good games from the Harvester Zerg. I think there was a couple of replays we have available from that bot. So probably I should start up queuing up the games.
Okay, seems
Hello
like we have
everyone.
some people joining us now.
That's absolutely great. I will queuing up the games. The first one will be uh, Baron Suli against Forgatebot, and after that we will have Harvester Zerg versus Sharpie PvP Easy. And third game will be Harvester Zerg versus Venbot uh, version 3.
Yeah, I thought. Well, actually, those two games were some of the first I watched from the Harvester Zerg, and I thought they'd be. Oh, I thought they were interesting.
I bet they are. Machine learning bots are always interesting, and hopefully we will see some interesting games from these two games. Third one will be Drone versus Better Worker Rush. I think we are seeing two Worker Rush bots beating each other to the oblivion. And then there will be a three-way lover versus Forgatebot. And last one I do have in the queue is Anibot versus Spiny. And that's it.
Should we start the first game now?
Brilliant. I just have to refresh my page so I know what's going on. So this one will be Baron Sully versus Forgate bot, or was it already over?
No. The 4-gate bot game just started.
Okay. So as you probably all know, Forgate bot is made by Scarlett, new author in our community. Great to have her here. And Baron Sully has been around for a while. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game, except probably Forgate bot will make 4 gates.
Yeah,
If my
looks like
memory is correct, Baron Sully is making a lot of circlings.
yeah, it seems to be a circling only. And closer hatchery. I guess we can call that proxy hatchery. And circlings are pretty good against Stalker, so
So basically, Forgate bot should have a hard time against proxy hatch circling build.
is my volume too low again?
Yeah, according to the chat messages, you're a little bit low. So probably you have to adjust your microphone sensitivity a little bit.
Testing. I think it's on maximum volume already. Can't do much about it.
I hear you better now. I hope everybody else is able to hear you better. Is my voice okay? Should I increase or lower my voice?
Anyways, looks like Barnes July has already won the game. Can't really hold against Infinite Cherokings with just Stalkers. You need to block the ramp at least somehow.
That was a fast game. Okay, now we are going to have Harvester Zerk. Do you want to tell something about this bot? I think a lot of the audience will be excited to hear what you have done with the machine learning.
I changed my mic's position a little bit. Hopefully this sounds a little bit better. But anyways, the Harvester here uses machine learning to choose what it builds. It should be saying something in the chat, but doesn't seem to be happening. Is the chat disabled in?
Unfortunately, it's disabled in this AI Arena stream.
Okay. Well, that can't be helped. And anyway, it uses it has like 200 inputs based on some stuff that SAPI framework provides it. And it has 17 outputs, in other words, actions. And it tries to use those actions to build units. The actions are bases or hatcheries, zerglings, drones, queens, roaches, ravagers, hydras, lurkers, mutalisks, corruptors, and upgrades. And
okay, so basically the outputs are units and upgrades. How about buildings?
The buildings are automated by SAPI. So, for example, if the bot decides to build mutalisks, it will build the spawning pool. It will upgrade the hatchery to layer and build a spire, and then it will start building mutalisks.
Okay, so there's a little bit hard-coded stuff behind, but what it should build, that's done with the machine learning.
Yeah, that's the basic idea. Also, all the unit control is done by SAPI. So the unit control isn't controlled by machine learning in any way.
Yeah,
Hello.
I think that will make the machine learning part a little bit easier to make if you are not trying to make everything at once.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Infi, does your agent take into consideration how long it's going to take? Let's assume it's 2 minutes into the game and it decides it wants to make mutas. Does it take into consideration that it's going to be a while until the first muta comes out because there are a bunch of tech requirements that needs to be met?
I have no idea.
Okay.
One of the inputs is time, but the decision making doesn't have any kind of history. One of the parameters that are inputted in is time, current time in the game.
Yeah, that's good. But it's also volatile because sometimes games reset after 4 minutes when an all-in fails, but both players are like even. So they start a macro game after 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So that could throw your bot off.
Yeah, that's true. It only kind of knows all the data I'm inputting in. Like, I think I'm inputting all the data that what the enemy has lost, what the bot itself has lost. And
Then it should be aware that it's okay. That's good. That's good information. That will make it aware that even though we're 5 minutes in, we're just starting because both sides have traded a lot of units.
So okay, for this agent we have here, the bot has, or the harvester has trained for 6,100 games.
Oh wow! And you have done this on your own computer, not in any cloud in the web in the internet.
Yeah, in my home computer. It only has trained against the in-game AI.
It looks like it's Well, I remember watching the Harvester Zerg a while ago, like a long time ago, and I remember you tilting when it didn't do anything. Right now, it looks good.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it improved a ton, like really a lot.
Yeah, so the way I managed to make it improve is a little bit of cheating in my part. So I made a bunch of rules.
I'm gonna stop you 1 second. We don't call it cheating; we call it heuristics. Okay. You tell him what you think is good.
Yeah. So my cheat, so called here, is that I'm running the agent with a predefined code that randomizes some of the tough stuff and makes some of the things make sense, like build drones at the start, make bases at the start, make some circlings.
Yeah, but you're slowly stepping into the well. This depends on the situation. Like,
So
I'm just
the
saying.
idea here is to have two kind of agents raining. The one is kind of like showing the agent this is how you should play, and another agent is doing the actual learning and testing. And these two iterating together makes it actually better when it tests different scenarios based on how it had, well, how to explain.
Yeah, I get it. So you also test scenarios where you get rushed and maybe making a bunch of drones is not the best choice right now. Like you need units. You also train it on stuff like that, right?
So the
This
heuristic
game.
or cheat, whatever we want to call it,
The
is
official name is heuristic.
yeah,
That's what all
that
ML pros call it.
okay. But it is, I made that code in like 15 minutes or so. I just tell it to make something that makes actually sense. And then I started running games, and I saw that the actual learning process was improving rapidly with that. I tried to use the heuristics version before, but it wasn't quite as good as this one.
Well, part of the progress is also modifying the heuristic, in my opinion. Slowly giving more freedom to the agent. Like you start with something that guides the agent, directs it to the right direction, but slowly you take that away and let the agent do whatever it wants based on its training. I mean,
Yeah. This kind of like what the kind of like what the AlphaStar did, that they made players, they used player replays to train the model. But I cannot actually do that because I'm only training the build orders. It needs to be something that is very specific to my scenario. So the way I'm doing this is I use the heuristics to train the agent while it's learning by itself.
good job, man.
Yeah, thanks.
It's looking good. So 4-gate against three-way lever. This is, I mean, this is as troll as it gets, right?
Okay, so
I'm not sure even
proxy
like.
pylon here.
Okay, so 4-gate decided to proxy. It's a standard spot for 4-gate bot, and TWL always expands there, right? He skips his natural, but there is a proxy over there. So the most obvious reaction is just expand to the right. Don't react to the proxy. Just expand to the right, right? That's bot logic in a nutshell. It's okay. You have stalkers and gateways. I'll just let my probe walk through your army and expand. Thank you.
So 3-way lover make a ninja base on the top left corner.
So obviously 3-way lover is going to lose his main.
He's going to win if you read the chat. I have a heuristic of reading the chat to predict the game.
I don't cheat. Except
you don't see
machine learning.
Twitch?
Machine learning.
So I assume 3-way lover is going to make like a tempest that it's going to sit outside of range and just slowly kill the stalkers.
I have no idea how 3-way lover is able to catch up at this point.
But where are those stalkers gonna come from? There has to be like a pot of stalkers to take.
One army supply for 3-way lover.
And 5 workers. Don't forget that.
4 at the moment. 6, sorry.
6, yeah. How the... Okay, I get how he wins this. The 4-gate bot doesn't check the top left corner, so...
3-way lover has to have like 15 minutes time to build up his army again.
Yeah.
4-gate bot is searching for the ninja base.
Okay.
Hey, Spood, what's up, man? Don't need larger army. What you kill the buildings with when I would assume it's a DT or a Tempest, but Yamabushi is saying that it's stalkers. He's making stalkers to match those, which is a long way to go, I think. Right now he has 0 stalkers, right?
4-gate.
Is it making some kind of late game cannon rush on the 4-gate bot main, and it doesn't react to it at all?
Here we go, 1-on-1 stalkers, but one of them is cheating.
Yeah.
He has an observer.
Scarlet says that she hits an APM cap from too many stalkers. That's like the army is pretty big, but it's like the 4-gate bot stopped building probes at 23, which I guess during the rush, and then now it's just building stalkers.
APM cap, can you explain that, please?
The SC2 is not able to handle all the commands if you go too high APM.
But this is 35k. I saw Micro Machine go to 120k, maybe more even. Right now we see the APM. It's like 35k, 50k. Okay, this is 160. Yeah, okay.
in combat it is.
Yeah. I guess above 120, más o menos. Like the game can't handle. I wonder what is the benchmark, the threshold.
Okay, I see the issue.
Oh my god, Yamabushi, this is so dirty.
Incredible strategy by Yamabushi.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What's going on?
He's just, as far as I can tell, is just letting his stalkers recharge shields and getting free value over and over. Like he takes a few shots.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. So the idea here is what's going on is that Scarlet's actions are delayed because
too many actions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it.
So if it is delayed like for 5 seconds or so, the units cannot attack if they are only trying to focus fire.
Yeah, I think Scarlet, I think the first step would be to take each single stalker and group it with another stalker. That should cut your APM in half, I think.
This is a problem quite a lot of bots I've had.
Hey, Crypt!
Hey,
What's
how's
up,
it going?
man?
Yeah, sorry I'm a bit late, but just busy doing other things. How's everyone?
Fine. Nice to have you here.
Good to be here.
Did anybody see the StarCrafts where they make a joke about Protoss? There is like a field commander or something, I don't know, High Templar or whatever, and a Zealot is running to him and saying, "Ambassador, we have received orders from the High Council." And he's opening like a big scroll and reads, "A."
I need to check
Yeah,
that one out.
I've seen that.
You've
Yeah,
seen that? Yeah.
I used that strat in Wings of Liberty. I used to be like I started playing that game and I was I couldn't get up the leagues with Terran at first. Then I changed the Protoss and immediately promoted a few times, and then I could stay with Terran again in like Platinum or whatever.
You're bringing back so much pain, so much pain. Like, yeah, Protoss just beats everything without micro. Like, if you A-move Terran units against Protoss units, or Zerg units against Protoss units, unless it's a very specific counter composition, but when we're talking about, let's say, gate units against Marine Marauders, gate units wins without micro, if both sides don't micro, which is very frustrating.
Yeah. See, this is why I picked Protoss.
That's the reason most new players are choosing Protoss,
Yeah.
including top tier players like Scarlet, who in GSL plays Zerg, but over here she plays 4-gate. Right, Scarlet?
Tactic.
4-gate is not a race.
It is a race for me.
I started as Terran because I thought I could just siege my tanks and not micro at all.
Yeah, that doesn't work, unfortunately.
Well, I managed to get to diamond with that strategy, so
That's not too bad.
Infi, do you have more games from Harvester Zerg available?
I had the one, but I thought the Ani versus Harvester Zerg was pretty funny too. Did you watch the Penbot one? Did you queue that up?
I at least tried, but I'm not sure. Did we see it at all? I think not. I will queue up the Harvester Zerg versus Benbot first.
Did we see a Micro Machine lose yet in this stream?
I mean,
What's
we've got
happening,
to
guys?
No, we haven't seen that yet.
What's happening? I mean, are you falling asleep or something?
Well, I
Not
am.
I
but,
didn't-
You know, that's.
I didn't receive a game where Micro Machine lost. I'm not sure has it lost this time.
Of course, somewhere over the rainbow it lost. Let's see. Results.
I mean, we
Yeah,
don't have to every stream, you know. Like, we can go a stream without seeing Micro Machine lose.
I
It's not in
mean,
the. It's not in the
Am I
law.
the
You know?
only one? Am I the only one that feels like something is missing? Like, I don't know, something is not right, right?
Well,
Possibly.
there's no point to have this stream if we are not seeing the Micro Machine lose. We can just
Bam, it
go
just-
home instead.
He just lost. He just lost. Like, this is a recent match to Three-Way Lover, and it's a 12-minute game, so it wasn't just a
Okay,
cheese or
so
something.
Raf has just queued up a game where apparently Microscreen ties. So
No. Ty
No!
is not petting our egos enough. I'm sorry. We
Oh,
need the
okay.
losses.
Sorry, Raf. I
Yeah.
tried to defend you.
I think I
Here-
saw the game where
Oh,
Micro Machine ties the game.
you. Let's see. It's so hard to find. Like the whole page has one loss. Luckily, it's the first game. Let's see. Ruff, what the hell have you done? I can't find any losses. Like I'm okay. In page 3, there is one loss to 4gate bot, but it's
I
two
mean,
losses to 4gate bot.
we can do that.
I queued the game versus Three-Way Lover, so it will eventually come up.
There's also a 7-minute loss to Sharpened Edge from a few days ago.
Really, we could. check
Which
that
page
one.
are you
Oh.
on? I went all the way through. I
Page-
went up to
Page 4.
4. Okay, yeah, because I stopped at 3.
Is 4gate bot beating Micro Machine every single time?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so glad that somebody's able to do that.
What are the rankings? I haven't looked all day because I
Okay,
was
but it's
busy
pretty-
failing the test. By the way, I failed the test today, so yeah. Oh, rank 3! Oh my god!
Nice.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, guys, the level is going up. It started with Fidolina, and we have now another author that just bam went to the top 3 like really fast with a new bot.
Oh, she's doing well.
Yeah.
That's really great that they are able to do that.
I agree. It means that
Congratulations for authors.
it means that we have a lot to work on if somebody can just crack the bots, the current bots, with a new bot so effectively.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. But saying that 4gate bot won't get any higher than second. Well, you know, she's not that far behind you. If she wins every time, you know, this is probably going to be quite worrying for you. That number 1 spot is not always assured. You know,
I think 4gate bot should lose to Genji from now on, and it should lose to the Harvester, I think.
I'm going to assume that many bots have already implemented a counter to 4gate because it's not a big secret. You can just look it up. How do I hold the 4gate? Like in Google, and you'll have. I'm pretty sure Genji is not the only one, but yeah, I know Genji is already not losing to 4gates, at least from what I've seen.
Did you queue up this game, Savelas, to show us your macro game?
Perhaps we could skip to the next game.
I think this game is over.
Let's move.
Let's go for the next one.
So that last building is even in your base,
Okay.
and you are not kidding.
Last building is in your base? What?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's in the corner.
Corner of the main. Oh, it's going there now. It might just,
No, it's a plant. It's like I have a few flowers here on the window, right? Anibot was keeping it for to keep the place prettified or whatever.
That's all the Zerg are. They're just flowers, you know, sitting in the corner. Yeah. Beautiful, like circling flowers.
I always wanted the pet circling.
Yeah, with a bunch of fucking armor so the Zerling won't chew off my hand, but yeah. You know, Zerling are in theory like raptors, so they're quite... They kick ass, even though they're small, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the size compared to a marine, they're at least kind of like probably up to your chest, and you know.
And the marine is in a combat suit that kinda doubles his size, his footprint.
Yeah.
Look at the probe here. The hero
So-
probe. No! Observer! Come back!
Observer, come on.
The thing I'm scared about is how big the Ultralisks are compared to like humans. Like, you know, if you look at that, they're about the size of a large tower block.
You know, I think Ultralisks, first of all, yeah. If this game was realistic, Ultralisks should just not die ever, because
Yeah.
I'm constantly thinking. Constantly. Okay, let me rephrase that. I constantly see scenarios where Zergs can easily win a game by making 2 or 3 ultras and just having those at the front of the army taking the first shots from siege tanks or whatever. Maybe with a few queens to transfuse. The point is, making ultras is like the solution to win the game. However, microing ultras as a human is a pain in the ass because they get stuck on everything.
Yes.
So I can't imagine how it is to code a bot to micro.
Coding Ultras Micro is going to be hard. Like, you know, it's probably why we don't see many Ultralists in Zergbots at the moment.
Yeah, but they're essential to break some compositions.
What do you mean by getting stuck?
They have a big footprint and they are melee. They don't shoot like Thor's, for example. So they have to get on their target. If a Zerling is standing in front of them, they are blocked. They can't attack.
Yeah.
Actually, they have bigger range than Zergling, so they can. If the Zergling is attacking, so can the Ultralisk behind it, but.
Yeah, I could be wrong about the Zerling, but I've experienced it a lot. Like, I don't know, whatever. Something is even I remember as a Terran, I used to mess up with the Ultralisk pathing with Ravens and auto turrets. You just drop an auto turret and they can't pass. You get them stuck like on tiny chokes.
Yeah. It's basically if they try and like walk into your base or anything, they're going to spend half the time just walking around all your buildings without doing anything useful.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. I guess you can utilize ultras with the Nidus. Maybe just bring them into the main.
Yeah.
That would. But yeah, but that's kind of you don't need to bring ultras into the main. You need the ultras to soak a bunch of damage from whatever composition the enemy has, so the other units can get on them and actually get value.
So here Harvester killed the natural. Should be easy win, but there are banshees in its base.
And Harvester has something against making cannons, right?
It's not in the build order.
Even if he scouts like a Starport and a Tech Lab and all that good stuff, still?
Nah.
Okay.
I think I said it before, but the builds in the Harvester are quite unfinished.
Well, I think it's more a reaction than a build. It's not something you plan ahead. It's something you need to have like available in case you scout something that triggers it.
Yeah, it's still part of the build or build order. You have to plan for that before the game begins.
Okay. So in the build order, you need to put a condition like if I see a Starport or whatever with the Tech Lab. Okay. What if it happens after that point of the build order?
You can put it in any part of the build order you want.
Oh. Okay. So you can do that check every step if you want.
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is painful. And to think like you can just drop one cannon here, one cannon there. It's not like, okay, this amount of banshees can actually fight cannons, but before it was like 2 or 3, right?
The problem with Micro Machine is that the cannons really don't help much because it guides so well around them. If you put a cannon in one corner, the banshees will just go into another and start wreaking havoc there, and you cannot cover everything with cannons.
I think Gen Z solved that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gen Z, using the corners in the map analyzer. It just grabs a couple of corners that are complementing each other, and the banshees cannot get in. Like, it's not.
It's very from what I've seen, the banshees are very careful around turrets and so on, so you can slow it down a lot if they are sort of appropriately placed. But like as a human, if there's one turret and you have like, I don't know, 3 banshees, you could take a few shots and fly past it at some but
Yeah, but it's not doing that right now. So if you cover your base properly with turrets, the banshees will just dance outside range and do nothing.
They will eventually kill the cannons when they have enough.
Well, okay, but it buys you a lot of time, which I think is very precious.
You also use minerals to buy that time. You could also use that money to build units.
Yeah, Gen Z confirms. I remember watching a few games of Gen Z against Micro Machine where he just placed a few turrets in key positions that made it so that the banshees could not enter the area of the base.
But doesn't Gen Z also has a cyclone and like a raven or something? Like he has other stuff, but like at some point, the like turrets help in the way that like your army doesn't have to all the time go back.
Exactly. If he's pushing outside, exactly what you said. If he's like pushing right now, and the Banshee shows up in his main, it doesn't fuck up the entire game because you can handle that.
So here we have Micro Machine base is basically destroyed. It cannot build anything anymore. And Harvester is building in its main. And it's basically also
stuck. No. I'm guessing this is the one that ended in a draw.
Yeah, this is the draw.
Okay, are we going for a 1 hour draw?
No, I think we can skip. I think we got the gist of it.
This.
Yeah,
we can appreciate the dumbness of the bots, like building the stuff in your main when you have a functional base over there. Yeah, okay.
Wait, how on earth is Micro Machine out of this? Like, it's got
how?
Yes, so Raf is saying they are part of the Horror Squad.
Oh, he hasn't got a command center, has he? Sorry.
They're not executing a search and destroy code. They're just camping the main.
Yeah.
Okay, so only the main army roams the map. So
yeah. Yeah, this is textbooks, guys. This is textbooks of how dumb bots can be if we don't explain things to them. Let's call it like that. Very, very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can probably skip to the next one now. But yeah, it's a fun little game.
Okay, I'll do it. 1 second. Bam. Lost Lucidity says this is peak bot play. Yeah, it's very entertaining to see a bot having a functional base but trying to build its infrastructure in another base that has 5 banshees camping it.
Yeah.
And on the other hand,
the funny part about that is that was the ranked 1 and ranked 2 bots.
Yeah.
So it literally was peak bot play.
Yep. It's the best it gets, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a test bot, by the way, is Gen Z. In case you don't know, in case you haven't seen a million test bot games queued up, requested, queued up, whatever, it's Gen Z. So this should be an interesting game. Was this requested by anybody, or is it just the bot?
Not sure.
I think
Let's
Jensi
see.
queued up one game earlier.
Is there
Maybe it's that one.
Gen Z queued it. Okay.
Yeah.
I really like. I think this is like Gen Z's way to make up for losing to Spiny in Probots. Now he's going to show us I'm sorry. Yeah, saying go ahead.
Yeah, his TVC is actually like it's very entertaining if he gets to play, but like
Yeah, if he's not getting baited on the
Yeah.
scouting at the start.
Yeah.
Your TVT is actually I think the best. The TVZ, the best out of all the bots. Like, and even by a big margin. I don't think there is any competitor. But you get baited by Mind Games scouting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have here?
Yeah, what is Spiny going for right now? We don't
have the production queue.
Yeah, Laddie, are you on the stream server right now? You were before, I know. Okay, I'll see if I
know what
can.
he's going for, but yeah, Jensi's just going for the usual, get the Marines going.
is he going for some Doom drop, or why does he have a reactor on the starport? Yeah, I guess he's going for some drop.
Oh
no,
like his
Okay, Laddie, I'm getting in there, so don't worry.
It looks like his Marines are getting slightly far ahead of his medevacs, but not too bad now. That must be something that's quite difficult to code, is like making sure the medevacs are always in position to heal.
And sometimes they need to move in and heal even though they take damage, and sometimes they don't. It's a hard logic, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Spine is going for the changeling defense, but it's not working.
I think it was going for the bro rush. Or is that what we're calling it? The borrowed roach, bro rush.
Okay, Jensi picks up and leaves. I think the Medivacs were low on energy.
Yeah, possibly.
Alright, they're out of energy. These Medivacs here have much more energy.
Yeah, here's another set of Medivacs going top.
Oh, this is horrible. I hear. I can't speak. Sorry, guys. If you want production tab, I can't speak.
Okay. We'll let you go get us a production tab, and we'll take over.
We have the production tab now.
That's good. So, okay. I thought he could come back after the production tab was on, but I might have been wrong. I didn't mean he could go forever. Oh, but no, it's a weird one because like it doesn't look like Jensi's able to scan the burrowed roaches very easily. They're probably not doing such a good job of that.
So the marine pressure from both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like he's got quite a large supply advantage at the moment. most of
Yeah,
that's in the army.
he could finish the game if the bot
Yeah.
sort of understood it, that because the tanks are sitting at home defending, if he would attack, it would just end the game. But
yeah, it's one of those things that's very difficult to cast as well, because you have to kind of like work in some prediction of your enemy's army strength, which is not always easy to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look at the creep spread though; is pretty intense. Got most of the map gone at 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, now the main army is moving.
Yeah, but still,
It's moving to the
mainly.
third. No, it's
I mean, he's got a little squad over there, it looks like, but I don't think it's huge. The main army is still just running around looking for fence.
I think the main army was going for attack before Spiny counterattacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Genji is going for bigger routes or tries to avoid the chokes that are too small, like this one here.
I mean, he really needs to get not Viking, the other one, in the Raven. Sorry, that's the one. If he gets a Raven that can spot all the burrowed roaches, then it's basically going to be a lot easier for him. And there's nothing to dodge the biles. I'm wondering if it changes tactics slightly, because like against human opponents, you'd always want to bile down the tanks because they're immovable and the infantry's likely to move around. But against bots, they don't seem to be able to avoid the bile from the from ravages very easily. So it almost makes it worth just biling down the infantry. What are the Medivacs doing? Way out of position.
No idea what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I was thinking they were trying to attack the extractor, but it was already destroyed, so I don't think it's that either.
No, it seems to be okay, fixed itself now.
Okay, Genji is saying that the changelings are bogging the Medivacs. That's
okay.
interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. Because you know that they're changelings, so like they shouldn't appear as your units in theory.
no, but they have, like I used to when I started, but I think it's one of, I don't know what the problem is exactly for Genji here, but it's one of those things that if you start, you probably encounter it, that you don't take the changeling special case and they show up as enemy units, but you can't move them, so you have to target them specifically. Like
So
I had.
It says that it's basically the changeling marines are seen as an anti-air threat from the enemy, so that would do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what used to happen to me is that my entire army would steam when there's a changeling around, but they couldn't they wouldn't like target it, like because I moved on the ground.
Yeah, you need to target them. So here's another longer game from Harvester Jerk version. Perhaps we can talk about what happens here. So we have early pool here, and this one is hard-coded, scripted scout that tries to get some info.
Okay, so it looks like the production tab is automatically working. So I'm back. Fuck you, Yamabushi. Yeah. Okay.
Just come back to say that, and they go.
Yeah,
that's fine. You know,
I had to get it out of my system.
fair enough.
So one base to Hydra and 10 second base. What I tried to do with the heuristics is that I tried to give different timings so that the spawning pool sometimes is before the second hatchery and sometimes the second hatchery is before the first pool. But it seems like it decided that spawning pool first is always better.
I would trust it. I mean, I wouldn't mess with those decisions because they could show up to be actually more valuable later on. Just like AlphaStar was making over-making workers, where every pro would stop making workers, right? But it was anticipating getting harassed, so.
The one build that this version had some difficulty against was air-based builds from the in-game AI. And I think the main way it tries to counter anything that flies is to build queens. What I tried in the heuristic is to build some hydras, but it seems to me that the harvester decided to ignore that, and it only
I would give it a list like options like hydras, corruptors, mutalisks,
yeah,
queens,
but you know, I spent 15 minutes to build that heuristic, so
okay. Yeah,
it's
it
not
would be
exactly
interesting.
perfect.
It would be really interesting to see what it converges on when you give it all of the anti-air options in the heuristic, but let it choose whatever it wants. It would be really interesting.
It's allowed to choose whatever it wants to, but I only train it with my version of the heuristic or whatever it is. The guided agent. Let's call it that, guided agent.
Oh my god, that link looks really lethal, and then they just went poof.
But so how is it decided when like you made
Can
the
you
attack?
train your bot Harvester Zerg versus some other bot from the ladder?
Right now, I don't think he does.
It was only trained against the in-game AI. It's more of like a proof of concept now. But I think the concept is working okay.
What were you asking, Infi?
No, I was asking that how is it decided then when the bot makes a certain set of units, that what do you do with them?
So that's some kind of automatic SAPI logic that does everything else.
I completely support that.
I think the first attack trigger is like 20 supply, and it only attacks when it has some kind of advantage.
Okay.
Or think it has one.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys.
So the problem here is that the
Mm.
harvester sends its links way before the rest of the army comes here. So the roses and ravages are really slow on the.
Now the interesting question here is, do you with your heuristic force it to attack as soon as possible, which could trigger sending the links too soon? Or
No,
does it choose?
that's just a
No? Okay.
poor grouping in the script. It's really hard to get the units to group up correctly. I think that's like the hardest problem in the unit micro I can think of.
Yeah.
Or at least some of the hardest one I had to solve.
For Zerg, it's even harder because I love how your harvester is using the links, but the next step is like flanking with those links, because that's the real power of speed links, when they can come from a bunch of directions and get a full surround quickly.
Yeah. So unit micro is hard-coded, yes. the only thing that it decides to do is the units. So here we have in production tab 6 queens. And here we have the queen army. I'm not sure if it is trying to counter the battle cruisers or if it just likes to build queens for fun.
I think it's trying. It is aware of the starport and of the. I forgot the name. That building that gives Yamato and stuff. Fusion core. I think it has seen the fusion core, so I would assume the queens are a reaction. But then
no
again,
idea.
queens are really, really good in any way because they don't cost larva and they have healing and stuff and they can spread creep.
In my opinion,
and they
it
don't
is
cost
just
lava.
trying to build its standards build, whatever it is, and it totally ignores what the enemy has. That's my guess here.
You could be right. It probably, I mean, it has to learn, right? Which means it has to try all of these things and then start making variations and see if it works or not.
So here we have the Queen Army fighting a single battle cruiser.
Oh my god, the battle cruiser is so tanky. It was standing there for so long.
Also, yeah, the Harvester Zerg really likes to pile itself. If I were to fix that code, I think it could be like a lot better. Also, Harvester has taken the whole map and spread creep everywhere.
That's good. And that also goes hand in hand with mass queens, which is also good.
And these queens aren't actually attacking, they don't have any attack logic. They're trying to defend and now they're just idling here because they happen to come here.
Oh, you don't have any upgrades, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Actually, Banbot only has 1/1, but if you want to get value from Lings, you need to upgrade them. The upgrade impact them so much compared to other units.
Yeah, probably.
Especially the Hive upgrade with the adrenal glands, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The one that makes them have steam constantly.
So the logic in Harvester can build upgrades, but I didn't put them in the
Heuristic.
I don't like that. I think it's more like a
Okay,
scripted agent.
we can call it cheat if you want. But
It's a
just like
agent.
just like pathfinding, you first give him a good guess of what he should do, and then you let it figure it out by itself. What's
So here,
really
look,
the right?
Look. That hurts. So because the Ravages are trying to go under the PC and they pile the PC.
That is on you though. That's the micro that's on you. Okay, that's not the agent fucking up here.
Yeah. But the point here is that if I actually made the check code in Sapi or Harvester better, it could actually be pretty competitive.
I think so. I think if your Ravagers doesn't suicide, they can take care of the tank line and the BCs quite easily. Also, there is a big arc of units that are not being used, like Vipers and Infestors, which are really good against that, against BCs.
Yeah, I disabled all the high tech units because it was trying them and in the early game with the random agent, and obviously that doesn't work very well. You can only build them after like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I guess you can guide it to not be allowed to go up to Hive until a certain point in the game.
Yeah, but it also ruins the point of proving the concept right. But now I have the concept, so I can.
Well, it's like AlphaStar was training off of replays, right? So the majority of those replays were not going into Hive until a certain point. I'm sure there's some benchmark that AlphaStar realized along the way that before X time, nobody ever goes up to Hive. So you can do that with a heuristic to help your agent get an idea of what's good and what's not. And even if later on you remove that heuristic, it already trains to get a Hive later.
Yeah, the heuristic here is actually wrong word. It doesn't apply here. So it is indeed a so-called scripted agent. It runs a scripted code, but it learns from it. It sees if the script works.
Yeah,
and then the agent tries that similar actions, and it then optimizes the actions, and that's when the learning process actually happens.
Oh, that's really interesting.
The initial agent that is the learning one, it tries some kind of random actions and it loses every time. It could play like a 10,000 game and it would still lose.
Yeah, I imagine the exploration is never ending. Like,
so,
yeah.
So here I'm guiding the learning process with a scripted agent that I'm use my game knowledge to guide play the game in some reasonable way and manage to win actually games. And when it wins like 50% or more, it learns rather rapidly that these things actually work compared to the random actions.
But be careful not to let it converge on things and make it never try anything else. Because that is very likely to happen when it starts winning with, like, I don't know, let's say Roach Hydra. It could just stick to Roach Hydra for eternity because it works, and that's it.
So basically this version of Harvester, I think it only builds like Ravagers and Zerglings and Queens.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, it seems to work for it pretty well. So yeah.
I think I might get some success if I make like different versions of the scripted agent, like one that builds only Hydras.
That is a great idea. Not only Hydras, but you can define custom compositions like Roach Hydra and Lingbane Muta, for example, and have scripted agents try out those, and then let the real agent have options, you know?
Yeah. That's the basic idea I'm going for.
Right, I'm probably going to have to make a move, guys. Thanks for doing the stream. I'll talk to you all next week. Oh, and don't forget the deadline for the SC2AI tournament on Friday, guys. So,
yeah. Wait a second. Tell us about it, Crypt, before you go. There is a tournament. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so the SC2AI.net tournament for the top 12 bots on the ladder is the deadline is Friday. So if everyone has the bots ready on Friday, or before Friday, obviously. So you have to basically get into the top 12 by Friday. So yeah, that should be fun. Yeah, so after you've qualified, you'll have the entire Christmas holiday to go and sort out your bots. We're going to do a stream on Saturday, which is going to be a season review and draw for the tournament as well. So it's going to be
this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday at 9 o'clock UTC or GMT.
Okay, awesome. I'll be there.
So yeah, tune in. It's going to be fun. And then the tournament will start on the 2nd of January, so you'll have all of Christmas to sort out your bots and get everything up for that. But yeah, anyway.
Or Hanukkah.
Or whatever
I'm
you want to
joking. I'm joking.
celebrate.
I'm joking. Yeah.
I might. The
Okay.
holidays, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So I'm just gonna sum up what Crypt said. This Saturday, there is going to be a stream. I'm going to be there. I expect most of us will be there with a bunch of information, analysis, summary of the season, right, Crypt?
Yeah,
Or am
so I'm
I?
going to do a full review of the season and how we've been going. So that's going to be
Yeah.
pretty
And
fun. And also, kind of like,
Scarlett. One second, Scarlett. Friday is the deadline, so sign up your bot.
no, well,
Yeah, go
Friday
ahead,
is
Crypt.
you need to be on the ladder before Friday, so we'll get the top 12 bots before Friday essentially. So sign up as soon as possible. And we're playing on latest patch for that, so it's slightly different, but hopefully it
Latest
shouldn't be too
patch.
much.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to go. Thanks for doing the stream, and I will see you all Saturday.
Bye,
later.
man. Was fun
Goodbye.
having you here.
Bye.
So to sum it up, it's going to be on latest patch, which means shield batteries and no infested Terrans and a bunch of interesting stuff. So I imagine, yeah, authors are going to have to make some modification to take advantage of the new stuff. Bye, Crypt. Have a good evening. And I think, I'm not
We watch
sure, but
everything. I think we watch every match we had in the queue.
yeah, there is no queue. Yamabushi, yeah, you can use the version manager, but your bot needs to be aware that shield batteries are suddenly a thing, and
What do you mean by shield batteries being a thing?
like the boost battery, whatever Protoss has on the new patch, like when the Nexus
Doesn't it exist on 4.10?
Yeah, but the tournament Crypt was talking about is on the latest patch.
Yeah, but
Okay, let's
is
see
it removed
this
then
game
there or what?
It was removed?
No, I'm asking what's different.
You can boost your shield battery. Infestors doesn't have infested Terrans, if I'm not mistaken. Shield batteries have this boost overcharge that
okay. So it has a new ability.
It's a new ability, yeah. It's a buff. It's not exact. Yeah, it's a new ability, I think. We discussed this many times before. The differences between 4.10 and the current patch.
Also, the void ray is better in the D patch.
Oh.
But maybe I'm looking at the wrong pages. I'm trying to see the patch changes, and I don't see any patch changes for shield battery.
Raf, I agree. This could actually be a feature request. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to implement it yet, but I also want to see on the stream both bots allied chat. I want to see what they're saying.
It was way before 5.0. I think it was like 4.11, something like that.
I'm not sure exactly what are the other changes. I remember...
But, at least on Liquipedia, the latest shield battery change is 4.71. So it's a while ago.
It's Nexus change, basically. Nexus gains that ability.
Okay. Let's see.
And what about Terran? Did Terran get any balance changes?
Yeah, the mind change. You have to...
Oh yeah, the mind's got a buff. That's also insane. I wish we could have had that.
Okay, so it's 4.12.
Okay.
Where the battery overcharge came.
Also, what else do we have? Oh yeah. Yamabushi's favorite unit got a buff.
Tempest? Oh, right. They have this. They can now really hurt ground or something, right? They have this fireball or whatever.
It's against upgrade against buildings.
Oh yeah, Raf is right. Also, battle cruisers got nerfed, which means when they teleport, they can die. I think right now when they teleport, they don't take any damage. Like in the half a second that the animation is happening.
I think the animation is basically instant or.
Well, in the new patch, you can kill them while they teleport.
Yeah.
In the old patch, you can't.
In the new patch, it has a cast time, so they can actually die during it.
This is a new feature. our Yep. Well, Tempest, Ruff says that the three-way liver wins. Yeah, he made Tempests. This is such a disgusting unit, especially in the bot world where you have to work so much harder to beat it because it's inherently just having an advantage over other air units because of its insane range.
Yeah. Getting in and charging through the Tempest is really hard to code compared to just backing away and shooting.
Yeah. Staying at max range is a couple of lines of code. Just keep max range and shoot.
Yeah, from what I've seen, like a good strategy with Terran seems to be that if you make Vikings, you just send the Vikings after the Tempest and they are irrelevant after that because they always go away. So you can do whatever with your army and the Vikings can just keep the Tempest away.
Jancy solved this with Vikings, but I know it wasn't easy. I think he created a flank or something, like Vikings coming from two directions on the Tempest. We saw that on last Probots versus Three-Way Lover, how we utilized Vikings to actually beat Mass Tempest. And it was very effective. Yeah, Vikings and Influence Grid, yeah. You need to put in so much more effort though to beat the Tempests compared to what effort is put into the Tempest. Like stay at max range, shoot.
Yeah. Also, Tempest alone aren't really good, but if they have a ground army support, then it starts to get real complicated. Like what we have here, like we have 10 to 15 Stalkers with 5 Tempests. You cannot just charge in with Vikings into that.
They outrange tanks, right? I don't remember.
No, they have 15 range in air. They have 15 range in air, but only 10 to ground.
So you can put tanks to cover the Stalkers can't get too close, right?
Yeah.
You can do something with tanks to keep them away, like to keep the Stalkers away, and then the Tempest, if they want to deal damage, they become vulnerable. Cyclone, I think this is Fidolina's new Protoss, right?
Yeah. It's no longer Fidolina, but it's now a dog.
It's now a Cylon dog, yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go now. My brain is really fried. I used it a lot today and failed.
I'll go too.
Yeah.
I think
so it was. Sorry, Infi, go ahead.
I was just saying that perhaps we can stop the stream now, or talking about it, or whatever it is, casting the stream.
Yeah, I think it's a decent time to do that. I'm just going to remind everybody watching that this Friday is the last opportunity to sign up in se2ai.net
It
for the
ends.
tournament. It
You
ends
need to
this
sign
Friday,
up
right?
now.
You need to
if you
sign up
want.
now. And it's going to be on the latest patch, including the various balance changes that we discussed right now. And you will have almost 3 weeks to work on your bot before the actual tournament begins. So there's that. Good night, guys. Good evening, good night, or good afternoon for the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
See you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you
Bye.
too.